Hi guys, been a month since I checked in here. Um, you know, uh, it's now the 9th of August, Sunday morning. Um, I'll finish this vlog and then head out for an hour's exercise. I can't do what I would normally do and head out to Mount Lofty because we're under stage 4. Lockdown because of coronavirus. So I'm allowed 1 hour outside a day and have to do it within 5 kilometres of home. So I've got to work around that. I'll just go and do a bit of a walk and jog around a local park, and that'll be my outside exercise for the day. This whole COVID thing has been interesting, from a mindset viewpoint. I never thought in my time I'd have restrictions on my activity and movement like I've got now. Can't go to work, can't go and exercise, can't go shopping. Like there's all these rules, and you sort of got to be mentally prepared to, get pulled over by the police and asked for your address and why are you outside your house and all that sort of stuff. It's necessary, I guess, but it's been a challenge, and the unknownness, if that's a word, unknownness of it all. I think it's been, there's gonna be a big mental health price to pay as a community, and I cottoned on after going through some tough stages with it where I just gave in and fucked up and ate bad and got lazy. That because there's so much outside your control, it's really important for you to control your controllables, and you can control your effort, you can control what you put in your mouth, you can control how you exercise, you control what time you go to bed, what time you get up. It's just important for me to start controlling the controllables, and I find the emotional roller coaster stops if I'm controlling the controllables, while still giving yourself the freedom and permission to chill out when you need to. It's pretty predictable, if I've missed a week of doing this vlog, so I do it every 2 weeks. That's that I haven't got a great story to tell. After the last vlog, I did the usual thing, carved out, ate all the kids' junk food for the week, and basically gorged, went into a feeding frenzy, which is never good. A couple of things usually happen. I do that, I don't weigh myself. I stop hopping on the scales every day just to check in with my body, and thinking in some way that I'm not putting on weight if I don't weigh myself, sort of like Donald Trump, and we've only got more coronavirus because we test more. Bullshit. So I know when I don't vlog, when I don't weigh myself, that I've done the wrong thing, and to be honest, I don't need the scales to tell me if I've put on a couple of kegs. But it's this whole carb craving, the emotional link from carb, from feeling overwhelmed, anxious, a bit blue, I don't know, to sticking something sweet in my mouth, eating a pack of mid slices. I just have to try to break that. So I'm happy I did. So I decided that I just can't eat carbs. If I'm eating carbs, I crave carbs. And I'm not eating a lot of carbs, but I was starting to eat a bit of fruit, an apple a day, and a bit more vegetables, and drinking milk, having a cappuccino, and that seems to be enough to create this craving for carbs, particularly when I'm feeling a bit blah. So I decided to cut the carbs out, which for me basically means, sort of heading down the keto pathway, because I understand the ketogenic diet and what's involved in the chemical process of producing ketones for your brain and not relying on glycogen. So probably been doing that for 3 and a bit weeks now, and feel pretty good, and no great surprise, I've stopped craving carbs. So when I weighed in 4 weeks ago, I was sort of 132 point something. With some trepidation, I hopped on the scales this morning for the first time in, best part of a month. Fully prepared to be up around 135, but I was actually 130.3. So, while I'm still behind where I plotted out that I wanted to be, I'm in striking distance, and I'll be curious to see if I can catch up. If I lose a kilo a week, I'll catch up 400 grams a week. So, but I'm finding it fairly easy. I find it very easy to eat keto. Each time I do it, this is probably the 3rd or the 4th time I've sort of gone down this path, I get a bit better at it, I think. Because you could, I used to eat a lot of salamis and processed meats. I've done away with that. But I'm probably eating a little bit more vegetables. I think I can tolerate, maybe 30 grams of carbs a day. So, I have some vegetables for dinner. So, whereas previously I wouldn't have any of that shit. They're great veggies. Finding it easy. Obviously dropped some weight. So I'll keep going with that. Through all of that though, I've been pretty consistent with the exercise. I'm finding it difficult, like under this lockdown, there's no I can't go and get a massage or do anything like that. I've had a fair bit of trouble with my calves, but that's basically from running, and, I know at 130 kilos, I shouldn't be running. It's not good for me, but I just like to. So I'm running a little bit better, but, every once a week, I sort of start running and stop because my calves are fucked. Really they don't unfuck themselves until I get some needles stuck in them by my masseuse, Alison. Bike riding's been good. I did another bit of testing on the Sufferfest, and my FTP and all that sort of stuff had gone up by about, a third, which I'd be expected. I hadn't been on the bike for so long. So I'm finding the bike pretty good, getting a little bit more comfortable on the bike. Can't say I'm a lover of indoor cycling. I'd rather be outside, but given it's winter and I'm not allowed outside, it's been great. I get on, pop on Netflix and, give it half an hour of an evening. It's obviously having some sort of fitness benefit. But that's probably enough for today. So all up, I'm feeling pretty good about life. I'm feeling pretty good about the training. I'd like to be further down the track, but I'm moving forward, not moving backwards, and I feel that there'll be plenty of people moving backwards through this coronavirus time. So staying positive, and I've touched base in another couple of weeks. Hopefully I'll be in the 120s. I have a bit of a dopamine hit, I guess, when I tick off every 5 kilos, and when I go through a naught, so if I go from 130, there seems to be a 10 fucking kilos difference between 130.1 and 129.9. Like every 10 kilos I tick off, is a milestone, because, if I want to get down to say 80 kegs to race at, I've got to go through 130, 120, 110, 100, 90, 80, right? So it's not like I'm ticking off 200 grams out of the 50 something kilos I got to lose, right? I'm tipping through, a sixth, so 16% or whatever that is, which seems to be a big step into the journey. So no, it's just all mind games, and a number's a number, and all that sort of stuff. I just get excited, and some come easy. Like to get under 130 is a bit of a challenge. I get the feeling that I'll crash down to 120, right? And then to get under 110 for me is a big thing. And then I'll go from 110 down to 90 pretty easy. And then the last 10 will be really fucking hard. And that's some experience. And it's just, I think my body's got a natural plateaus in it. That is what it is. I get it. I get that it's not going to be perfectly linear. But, it is what it is. I'll hopefully talk to you in a couple of weeks, because that'll mean that everything's gone swimmingly. And speaking of swimming, pools have been closed. Haven't been able to swim for fucking 5 months. It's given me the shits. But I'm off for a run. Look after yourself, and I'll talk to you later.